heavy lies the crown.
Welcome back to another I Am Heavy Cash podcast. You already know it's your boy, Don Heavy, representing for the NY and the Shy. We're going to jump right into it like we like to do because you already know foreplay is only for you, boo. But anyway, today we're going to talk to the American people. We're going to talk about these savings accounts, these bank accounts, these checking accounts, and, whatever have you. We're going to just start right off with the checking account, okay? Now, the checking account is the first account as American people normally that we hear about. Typically, we only hear about the checking account first. We see, the bank commercials and everything like that. We see our parents using debit cards that are attached to checking accounts and things like that. Now, the checking account does have its pros. It feels good to have money and see it going up. When you're putting your money in your checking account and you got this little plastic card that's always accessible and you like, yeah, swipe. That costs how much? Swipe it. I don't care. What? Just throw it in the bag. Swipe. You know what I mean? I understand it. It feels good to have that amount of power at your fingertips and just being able to swipe it and to see the money going up. It's the first type of account, like I said, that we hear about as the American people. So when you get your checkings account, you feel accomplished. You feel great. You feel like, oh my gosh, I am the ish. You know what I mean? And that's what's up. It's all about that feeling. It's all about that happy feeling. That's what life is all about. But understand something about these checking accounts. First of all, sometimes they cost you money if you don't keep it up to the bank standards, meaning have a minimum balance in there or are making a certain amount of deposits per month. Now, it's called a maintenance fee, but I don't know how you maintain my account when you're using my money repeatedly and you're using my money just all the time and you're making money off my money. I don't understand what's the maintenance. I don't understand. I don't get that. And I need somebody from the bank to explain that to me because they only explain it to me as far as they understand it themselves. And they only understand it as far as the paperwork says in front of them. But they don't really understand because I have yet to have somebody explain, what a maintenance fee is. Why do I have to keep making a certain amount of, deposits? Or you start charging me for my account? I don't get that. That doesn't really make sense to me. It seems like it's more in it for the bank than it is for me to have my money in there. But I digress. That's none of my business. But I know that the banks do make money. If you understand how a checking account works, the bank makes money off the money that you put in your checking account, and they don't really have to report it. They don't really tell you what they do with their money, what they do with your money, actually. To be quite honest, I don't know who the money belongs to after you put it in the checking account, if it belongs to you, the person that's putting in the checking account, or it belongs to the bank, and then, you're allowed to borrow your money back from time to time. I don't know what it is, but that's kind of what it sounds like, and that sounds scary when you think about it. But anyway, the savings account is the next account I'm going to touch on. Now, with the savings account, that's for the money for the rainy day. You put it to the side, and I know it feels good seeing that money. Like, yeah, that's money. That's a couple $1,000s I ain't touched yet. You know what I mean? It feels good. Some of you got, double-digit thousands in your savings account. It feels great. And you got the teeny-weeny interest. Oh, the little cute interest amount. It's just so cute. It's just so snuggly and wuggly. It's just, you gotta squint to see it. Just the 0.00%, and you're like, I can barely see it, but you know what? It's interest right there. I see the interest right there. I can barely see it, but I see the interest right there. Oh man, at 0.0000 and a half. I see that. I see it. It's something. It's something, baby. It's something. And with the Federal Reserve, just hiking up interest rates, I don't know if your savings accounts will see that, but that's something to bring to the attention of your bank. Like, what's up, the Federal Reserve? Just let them know that you're aware of the financial situations in this country and that's going on. Because that's what Don Heavy's trying to teach you. Don Heavy's trying to make you aware of the financial situations besides going to work and clocking a check. You understand what I'm saying? That's what Don Heavy's talking about. Because Don Heavy's about heavy cash, and going to work and clocking a check doesn't really equate to heavy cash. I don't care what your profession is. Okay? Going to work and clocking a check only does not equate to heavy cash. Moving forward, I understand that having a savings account makes you feel good. But understand that if the inflation rate is greater than your interest rate, okay? So let me break it down like this. With a normal inflation rate, you take any amount of money that you have, and every 7 years you cut it in half. Because it is now worth half of what it was 7 years prior to that date. So if you have $50,000 in 2007 with an inflation rate disregarding, the whole financial crisis and, the bubble and everything like that. Just at a normal inflation rate, if you had $50,000 in 2000, by 2007, if you just saved that $50,000 and didn't add to it, you just had it stashed away for a rainy day, that $50,000 is now worth $25,000 because the inflation rate has weakened the value of your money. So now your money is not really, it's not worth it, what it was years ago, and that's a scary thing when you think about it. That's a really scary thing. I mean, think about this, guys, people. If that doesn't seem plausible to you, think about this. If you are ripe in age, then you did your own shopping in the 90s. But what $20 bought you in the 90s and what $20 buy you in 2016? I know damn near my parents' grocery cart used to be full in the 90s. And in 2016, I could barely buy cold cuts and some bread. Now, Don Heavy's not tripping because it's all about heavy cash. Everybody got to make their money. And I understand these corporations and these, these grocery store supermarkets have to make their bread. They got to make their dough. I understand that. And I understand they got to adjust to the times and adjust to inflation and adjust to the value, the strength, or the weakness of the dollar. I understand that. But damn, you telling me I could fill up my grocery cart in the 90s with 20 bones and now I can only buy 2 items with 20 bones? Or I got to go to one of these stores that, are marketed towards people in the low-income community with the quality of products ain't even all that. But we ain't even going to get into that because Don Heavy's not, the food inspector. Anyway, moving forward, the final account I'm going to touch on is a brokerage account. Now, a lot of people here broke and they're like, oh, understand what a brokerage is. All right, I'm not going to get into that, but understand what a brokerage is. It does not mean that you are broke. Okay, it's just a play on words. Working for money feels extremely good, but seeing your money work and make money feels even better. Now, what does that mean? Seeing your money earn. Because when you invest in stocks, that's what you're looking for. You're looking to make your dollars earn. How can this money earn? And if you watch Black Market Watch, if you paid attention to Black Market Watch, Don Heavy touched on return on invested capital. Don Heavy touched on that stuff. So I'm not going to explain what return on invested capital is on I Am Heavy Cash. But Don Heavy explains on Black Market what return on invested capital is. So make sure your money is earning, okay? Make sure your dollars are earning, all right? Are invested in products that are earning from the American people, from you. Are earning from, things that are getting bought and things that are being sold every day. Make sure the money is working tirelessly day and night, around the clock, even weekends. Now, I know the stock market is closed on weekends, but your money can still be working on weekends, baby. Just because the stock market closed doesn't mean your money stopped. Supermarkets ain't closed. Services haven't stopped for the weekend. They might finish early, but even the bank is open on Saturdays. Okay? Let's start earning for the dollars. Another thing with brokerage accounts is they work with inflation because when your money's earning, no matter if inflation's going up or if the value of the dollars is deflating, your money is still earning on products and services. So your money is adjusting according to the inflation rate. And that's the beauty about a brokerage account, is that it adjusts to the state of the economy. If you're diligently practicing your investing the way you should be and doing your homework. Do your homework, people. That's one thing that Don Heavy says pretty much on every podcast is do your homework. Make sure you do your homework with these checking accounts. Make sure you do your homework with these savings accounts. Make sure you do your homework on these brokerage accounts. But when you invest in liquid assets, you have to sell those assets in order to pull the money out. But when you sell those assets, you have way more money than you put in there. That's not like a checking account. That's not like a savings account. In the wake of a catastrophe, just to let you know, in the wake of a catastrophe, if the banks want to hold your money to prevent a run on the banks, and if you don't know what that is, then you need to look that up. To prevent a run on the banks, if the banks want to hold your money, they can in a checking and savings account, and it doesn't matter how much you got in there. If the bank gets robbed, you only have a certain amount of money that's insured, okay? Now, nobody's robbing a brokerage account. With cybersecurity and everything, it could get hacked, but I know nobody could run up in your brokerage account and be like, yo, give me the money. Give me the loot. Give me the loot. Nobody could go up in your brokerage account and say, give me the loot. They can go up in the bank and say, give me the loot. They can go to your deposit box in that bank and say, give me the loot. They can go to the vault in that bank and say, give me the loot. If you have stock in companies, if you have stock in Coca-Cola, nobody's going to go to Coca-Cola and be like, give me all your Coke. And by the way, give me all the money from your shareholders. Give me all the invested money from your shareholders. Nobody's going to do that. Okay? No criminal in their right mind is going to do that because they're going to get caught. And that's why brokerage accounts, to me, to Don Heavy, are the most powerful because they protect your money, they help it with inflation, and they make money for you. Your money's making money, and if it's not about heavy cash, then I don't want to be a part of it. I want no parts if the money's not making money the way I need it to make money, because we all need to, get up on the game. We all need to jump that income bracket or that tax bracket and jump that income status. All right? It's all about the heavy cash. And with that being said, thank you for tuning in to another I Am Heavy Cash with your boy Don Heavy. Follow me on Twitter at DonHeavy_invest. Brush up on your stock market knowledge, or learn how to invest in the stock market with the investing educational series known as The Black Market with your host Don Heavy. And if you want to catch up on your celebrity gossip and see which celebrities are practicing financial responsibility or practicing financial irresponsibility and misbehaving in the eyes of Don Heavy, which Don Heavy will get in that ass, watch Money Talks Across the Wire and Money Talks Ear to the Street, which is also another segment, another series on Don Heavy YouTube channel. And with that being said, tune in every Tuesday and Thursday to I Am Heavy Cash. I'm out. Peace and love.
This program is brought to you by Her Pretty Ghost and Better New Business. Thank you for tuning in.